Morning, Trainiacs. As you're watching this, I am probably just getting started racing Half-Ironman Puerto Rico 2019. So the question that always comes up is, what is your goal time? So today I'm gonna walk through what my goal time is, go for plans with swim, bike, and run. So now as far as the swim goes, it's really hard to start comparing swims from race to race. My last race was basically a 29 minutes flat at Half-Ironman Worlds in South Africa. This race is different because while it is still an ocean swim, I'm a little bit faster by about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 seconds per 100 meters, but this isn't a wetsuit swim. Half-Ironman World Championships was a wetsuit swim, and wetsuits really help me. You see these big legs? I've got big tree trunks, so wetsuits really help me get my legs up close to the surface of the water. I am going to have the swim skin that you've seen me swimming in for the last little while. It is still an ocean swim, so the salt water gives me a little bit of buoyancy. So add a few seconds because it's non-wetsuit, take off a few seconds because I'm a little bit faster, but then it all comes down to the course, and Half-Ironman Worlds was really fast. Everyone was about 4 to 5 seconds faster. So I don't think that I'm going to go that 29-minute swim or better. I'm hoping for somewhere in between about a 30 and 31. But it all depends on, is the course accurate? How are the conditions? Is there current? All these things. Somewhere in there is the performance that I want. Onto the bike. And for that, we're going to enlist the help of Best Bike Split, which has been both tremendously accurate and tremendously inaccurate. So this here is Best Bike Split, where you put in your bike, your course, the power that you want to put in, whether you're using a disc wheel, how much you weigh, all different kinds of variables, and it spits out an estimated time. And look at this. So Austin, it estimated I was going to be 2:30:43. It was like 15 minutes off. Coeur d'Alene, it estimated I was going to be 2:30:47. It's about 5 minutes off. Half-Ironman Worlds, it estimated I was going to be 2:32. I think that was about 6 minutes off. And it estimates for this, I'm going to be 2:21:16. Why Austin was giving me a time that was 15 minutes faster was because I think they changed the course actually, and this was pulling from an old course. Coeur d'Alene, I have no idea why it was off because I think I basically hit those watts. Half-Ironman Worlds, I pretty much hit those watts. I was like 4 watts faster, but I was actually 6 minutes faster than the prescribed time. So this is giving me both faster and slower times. So 2:21, I don't know, but here's the thing. I know that I am more aerodynamic than I was when I did the 2:26 in Half-Ironman Worlds. I don't have as many long rides, but I have long rides that have a greater amount of time at or above race pace. So I don't know, it might end up canceling out. If I were to compare this to the 2:26 that I did at Half-Ironman Worlds, I think maybe I might have another 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes more speed now than I did then. But who knows? The run. The last run that I did in Half-Ironman Worlds was a 1:34. That would probably be a fairly comparable course to this run. There were some big hills in Half-Ironman Worlds. There's going to be some big hills here. What there wasn't in Half-Ironman Worlds was heat. That was like perfect running weather, about 17 degrees Celsius, talking about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's ideal. Here, it's going to be about 28 degrees Celsius, about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That said, I've had more running volume. Last year, because of my Achilles injury, I wasn't able to do much more than about 3-4 runs over 15 kilometers leading into both Coeur d'Alene and Half-Ironman Worlds. Now I've done about a dozen runs that are over 15 kilometers, and they're going really well. I am feeling pretty good with my running. So I think those two things might cancel each other out. The heat will probably cancel out my additional run fitness. Now, will that run fitness be able to show itself considering that I've been indoors and haven't been able to bike outside and do like those 120, 130 kilometer rides? Don't really know. Something that you've also got to consider is transition 1 has a run from the swim to the bike that is, I think, about 700 meters long, like a half a mile basically. So that's gonna add a little bit of time. So if I was on the same course as Half-Ironman Worlds, I think I would flirt with maybe a 4:30. But what does that mean on this course? That means maybe I'm anywhere in between a 4:25 and a 4:40. And that's why I tend not to answer people when they say, hey, what's your goal time? Like, well, I know what my goal execution is, but to say a goal time, that's really hard to do because it depends on conditions, course, weather, how my body reacts to training indoors and racing outside, the travel. I've just come in with like 2 days to spare before the race, so there's a lot of things in the air, and these are the things that we can't control. We have ownership over the process. We have no ownership over the outcome. And that's a good way to look at it. Like, do the best you can, Trainiacs, in whatever race that you're going into. And then once it comes to the race, put all ownership and expectations out of your mind, because that's just gonna add to stress. So now if you wanna follow along, bib number on the Ironman tracker is 126. I am going to be the very last age group of everyone in the race. So I'm gonna be out there for a long time. You can actually sleep in a little bit and enjoy it. NTK is here, going to be filming the race and hopefully Instagram storying it. So if you aren't already following, go follow me on Instagram at Triathlon Taren. And if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. Wish me luck, let's do this! Thanks for your support over the whoa! Stepped on the laptop. Thanks for your support and following along for the last build-up. Later.